What's up gamers, welcome back to another episode of Video Game Gems. I'm Ginge the Ripper, let's not play a game. September 2020 marked the 35th anniversary of Nintendo's mascot, Super Mario. For the anniversary, Nintendo held somewhat of an event for the plumber that lasted from September 3rd, 2020 to March 31st, 2021. For this event, Nintendo went haywire with the limited edition re-releases of Mario games. Nintendo released an updated version of their first Game & Watch, Nintendo's One minigame systems, before they entered the video game market. It has the same color palette as their first video game console, the Famicom, and came with two additional games, Super Mario Bros. And a localized version of Japan's Super Mario Bros. 2, known as the Lost Levels here in America. 3 of Mario's 3D platformers were bundled together and re-released for Switch as Super Mario 3D All-Stars, with better resolution. Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. The last game they announced was Super Mario Bros. 35, a 35-player battle royale of the original Mario Bros. On March 31st, Nintendo stopped supporting this game online and took it off their online store. As of right now, the game is no longer available to play, whether you've downloaded it or not. I'm going to go ahead and admit that I don't believe that this game was a gem, but I still think it's important to talk about as it is an important part of Mario's and gaming history. The objective was to survive as long as possible while racing through randomly selected levels against other players. You lost a round by either dying or running out of time. Each player started with 30 seconds and gained time by collecting power-ups, killing enemies, and beating levels. If a player stayed in one area for more than a few seconds, their timer would begin to deplete faster, making sure players were always on the move. By completing a level, their timer would go back to normal. If a game went on for more than I believe it was either 5 or 10 minutes, everyone's timers would deplete faster to end the round. Every enemy you defeated was sent to a random player or players via one of the 4 criteria at the top of the screen. You also had the option to manually select a player to attack should you feel the need. The items pretty much worked the same way they did in the original game, but a few were tweaked. The Super Mushroom and Starman worked exactly the same way. The Mushroom turned Mario into Super Mario, doubling his size and gave him an extra hit. And the star made Mario invincible to enemies for a short period of time. The Fire Flower still gave Mario the power to throw fireballs, but now gave Mario 2 extra hits instead of 1. If Mario takes damage while in Fire Mario form, he is turned back into Super Mario. Nowadays, this is pretty common in the Mario games, but back in the day, taking damage as Fire Mario would result in Mario turning back into Small Mario. Since each player only had 1 life per round, the 1-up mushroom would not give players extra lives, but instead gave them 20 coins. 20 coins allowed players to randomly buff Mario with one of the 3 power-ups, but the one you got was completely random. With so many enemies attacking you at once, coins could save your life if you got in a bind, giving the players a reason to seek them out. So, was Mario 35 fun? When I first heard the announcement, I was interested, but when I got the chance to play the game for the first time, I had the same question as everyone else. What's the point? Super Mario Bros. Has a total of 8 worlds with 4 levels each. Mario 35 randomly sent you to one of the 32 different levels every time you beat a level. However, most of the time, the game would send you to levels 1-1 or 1-2, and it wasn't uncommon for the game to send you to the same level multiple times in a row before sending you to a different level. Both of these levels have easy to find stars and don't have difficult obstacles or enemies to overcome. Essentially, you could just grab a star and race to the end over and over while collecting a bunch of coins and time until you accidentally mess up or get sent to a harder level. Now, if that was all there was to this game, there wouldn't be a reason to do a video on it. However, the more I played, the more I started to figure out how the game really worked. Players who were invested in this game played for one of 2 reasons, either to win or to collect levels. Before a round started, everyone selected a course they would like to start on, and the game selected one of those levels randomly. Beginners started with levels 1-1 and gained the rest of the levels by completing them in the Battle Royale, which gave players a reason to seek out the rest of the levels. But if you spent most of your time playing through the first 2 levels, how were you supposed to collect the others? Enter the Warp Zones. Super Mario Bros. Was filled with hidden warp zones that allowed you to skip various worlds. In Mario 35, the warp zones were changed so that they also sent you to a random level every time you found one. Levels 1-2 and 4-2 have hidden warp zones with 3 pipes each that would take you to multiple worlds, giving the players more options. If you couldn't find a level you wanted, you could simply travel back to one of these 2 levels and try again. There was also another way to get to the harder levels, and that was to simply wait it out. When a game got down to the last 10 players, or the timer started running fast, the players were forced out of the easy levels and into the hard ones. Players that managed to collect every level were given a small reward. By holding down the L button before a new round started, they could play as Mario's younger brother Luigi. For players that wanted to make the game more challenging, they would send themselves to the harder levels, like boss levels or underwater levels, and put the harder enemies in play, like Bowser's or Bloopers. Bowser could only be killed with either 5 fireballs or a superstar, and the Bloopers could fly when they were out of water. There were a decent number of enemies in the later levels that made the game more difficult. Sending them to players that weren't doing so well was the best way to ensure victory. Taking down other players would allow a player to collect coins that would go to their chest at the bottom of the screen, which helped them rank up. Mario 35 had a ranking system based on the number of coins a player collected. The more coins you collected, the higher your rank. The game also had a level up system. The better your placing in each round, the more EXP you earned. Every time you leveled up, you would get a new icon to display on your Mario 35 profile. The game also had special events, with some type of small gimmick that changed the game a little. You also had daily challenges that you could complete for more coins. There was also a level practice mode that allowed players to practice the levels they've collected. This is the only thing you can still do if you still have the game downloaded. So basically, for those of you who managed to collect all the levels, you have yourself a free copy of Super Mario Bros. And that's the entirety of Super Mario Bros. 35. It was a neat little game that just happened. I don't believe the game is gone forever. I guarantee Nintendo will bring it back for another anniversary. But until then, the game is officially no longer available. Oh, and just to prove that I could do it,
I wasn't trying to, but cool.
Thank you so much for watching, and keep on gaming.